This ends here. Nefertiti. Was she a pharaoh? Or a god? Nefertiti worshipped the Aten, but who holds it now?
Now that we're getting into the Curse of the Pharaohs DLC, Ubisoft is finally going a bit off book and making things a bit more interesting with the whole supernatural element that was left out of the main game being returned in this $20 DLC. Which is why the first boss fight of this Curse of the Pharaohs DLC takes place in the afterlife. Yes, Bayek has actually gone to one of the many heavens on offer in Thebes and is confronting Nefertiti. The reason is that he's trying to hunt down the piece of Eden that is causing the shades of these pharaohs to come alive and kill people in the real world. And he's going into heaven to confront them directly as a way to figure out where the piece of Eden is and to put their souls to rest. It's a bit of a roundabout solution, but at least he's finally doing something proactive. Nefertiti is actually one of the lower difficulty bosses on offer. Basically, she's fast, and I think her weapon has a poison effect, but it doesn't really come into play if you don't get hit by it multiple times. At least it didn't for me. It might not even be poisoned after all. But this is going to be a problem with Curse of the Pharaohs overall, is that the bosses that you have to fight in the heavens and on the ground in real life are just too damn powerful. They're all elite enemies at high levels, which you can't attain to, because Curse of the Levels is the only DLC that has the high level objectives that would give you the experience necessary to achieve the level cap that you have raised from purchasing Curse of the Pharaohs, which I think is like level 55 or something. So no matter what you do, no matter how much you grind, you'll probably be facing these guys as a disadvantage. Like I said, Nefertiti is about the easy edge of this. This is going to be a lot more frequent and a lot more annoying in later boss battles. Basically, Nefertiti by herself doesn't really do much. There is no character work done with the pharaohs in this entire DLC, but unlike the Hidden Ones DLC, it didn't really need to do character work because they're basically analogous to beast-type bosses. You don't need to do story work with these guys really all that much because they're just high-level enemies with very little needed backstory because they just get summoned out of thin air and then they go away once you beat them. Like, the story of the Curse of the Pharaohs DLC supports it by itself. They don't need specific backstories to them because they have no motivations to survive outside of this set piece by itself. As it's established even before we get here, all the pharaohs want to do is just destroy things. They're an evil presence, they're not a villain, so you don't need the character work done, which is good because Ubisoft barely did any besides picking a pharaoh that people would have known offhand. Of course, you pick Nefertiti. We don't learn anything about her, but the name recognition alone is enough to suffice. So there you go, Ubisoft, you aspired to be average. I hope it was freaking worth it. Other people have higher goals in life, but hey, you can wallow in the mud puddle all you goddamn want. I'm sure, like Sonic Team, you will occasionally bring out an amazing game. You know, maybe in the next 5-6 years. Who knows?